So today I want to talk about something that I have been seeing quite a lot. There are players out there in the community asking about how does the critical hit damage work in Diablo Immortal and how you can achieve 120% critical hit damage cap, because a lot of people have no idea how it is working. For example, if we go take a look at my base critical hit damage right now, I have 40% and the cap is somewhat 120%. So how can we hit that 120% critical hit damage cap? But before we go and try and figure that out, let's go and talk about how I was able to achieve 40% critical hit damage, because that is going to be the very basic question a lot of you guys who are watching this will be like, how you can achieve 40% critical hit damage. So I have critical hit damage on my helm, and I have some on my weapons and runes here as well. I'm using a rune for my weapons that gives me critical hit damage, so that is going to be 12% additional critical hit damage from the weapon. But overall you can get a critical hit damage on your helm, your shoulder, your weapons, and your offhand, and you can get quite a lot of critical hit damage even as on your base stats. And after that, how do we get more critical hit damage? We're gonna go and talk about the new gem first before I go and talk about something that a lot of people have no idea was that is how it was working. So if we go take a look at the new gem here, that is going to be the 5-star blood flow. I have it at rank 5 and it is giving me critical damage of 26%. So if we equip this and trigger my gem, I will be somewhat at 66.5% critical hit damage, but there is still a big amount of critical hit damage window left. I can get all the way up to 120%. So right now all we can do is 40.5% from the base what we have and 26 from the gem. That is again at 60. That is again put me at 66.5% critical hit damage. Now comes a fun part that a lot of people out there don't know, and that's gonna be about the armor penetration. So let me quickly change some stats here. Well, you know what, we don't need to change it, but if we go and click on this armor penetration here, you will see increase your critical hit damage by 51%. And yes, this also counts towards the cap of 120% critical hit damage. So again, I have about 66.5% critical hit damage thanks to the blood flow gem and my base stats of 40%. And if we add this 51% on the top of that, it is gonna put us about at 117.5% critical hit damage. So even around at rank 5, I am somewhat reaching the cap for the critical hit damage. So if I upgrade the gem to rank let me, oh my goodness, this is bugged now, maybe not. So if I upgrade this gem to rank 6, it will give me more critical hit damage, and I will be like hitting the cap, and I won't be getting more critical hit damage unless I drop some runes and try to achieve, like, try to switch those runes and get something else. But you guys see, that is how the critical hit damage works in the game. The one that you get from the armor penetration here, it is also count towards the cap, and I am getting 51% at the moment. If I were to go and change it to a different build that has a lot more armor penetration, it is gonna show that now. Let me close this. Now I have 56%. So with this amount of armor penetration, I would be hitting the cap anyhow. But keep one thing in mind, when you go in a PvP, a lot of these critical hit damage sources will be nerfed or strife. The one that you get from your shoulder, your helm, weapons, they all will be strife. The one you have from the runes, they will be strived. The one you have on the gem, it will be strived. The one that will not be strived is gonna be the armor penetration. But again, it depends on how much armor the enemy you are fighting got. If they have a lot more armor than your armor penetration, then the amount of critical hit damage that you will be doing to them is gonna be not all that much. So hopefully you guys learned something new from this video, how the critical hit damage works in Diablo Immortal. And if you guys have any questions, or if I got something wrong, let me know in the comment section down below. But that is how the critical hit damage is working right now, and it is and that is why they actually raised the cap for the critical hit damage from 100 to 120% in this major update. Otherwise, the new 5-star gem would not be that great when it comes to the critical hit damage, but now you can somewhat get some critical damage out of it. And around rank 6, I think if you build your character correctly, you should able to hit the cap. But there we go. There is a quick one. Hopefully you guys learned something new. I'm signing off. See you all in the next one. You guys have a great day later.